Hello sports fans and welcome to the Sports Report. This weekend I'm left licking my wounds a little bit. It was a tough one. It was a tough couple of games, tough couple of events. But hey, look at my Sunny Angel stickers. Don't they look cute? First thing, let's address the elephant in the room. 2 camera angles. We're upping the production quality already here on Sports Report. Look at me go. Aren't I just incredible? Moving right along, this week we have got 3 sports to cover again. We're sticking to what we know. We might have 2 cameras now. We are sticking with what we know. AFL, NRL, F1. We of course had Lions versus Nam. We had Broncos versus St George, and then the Amola Grand Prix. I'm using scarves this week so that it's ease of strangulation. It was a tough few games. Let's start with possibly a more positive. We'll start with Broncos. Now, Broncos Dragons, I think we came away, it was like, okay, so we finished 26-30. It was very intense. I don't actually have that many notes written down. We watched like the last half, I want to say. We were mainly watching in the hopes that the Broncos would win because we had an op at the game who was going for the Dragons. Op won though in that instance, unfortunately. The main thing from that game though was Jesse Arthur's ass being plastered on national television multiple times. I felt really bad. Now I've sustained my Jesse Arthur's fan card for years. So seeing him catapulted into the stratosphere with his bum on national television, crazy work. I felt bad for him. He looked so embarrassed, but it was an awesome fucking try. So you win some, you lose some. You get your ass plastered on national television, you get a try. But then you lose. Was it worth it? The last note here I've got is lost the Payne Haas at 105. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm pretty sure there was a point where like Payne Haas lost the ball. I think that's what I was trying to say. But I write these notes live and then I like go back and maybe cross check it. But that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there. Okay, moving on to Lions versus Nam. I was also meant to attend this game with Luca. We discussed going for ages because she does love Nam and I love the Lions. But we ended up obviously not going because, she's just a working girl. She's got things to do. So we didn't end up going, which was a shame. But honestly, I'm glad we didn't go because what the fuck was that? These were my live reactions. I've literally only got 2 things written down because I'm like, oh yeah, we got this in the bag, and then we didn't. What the fuck? So I probably watched a first half, which is a new thing. I normally tune in at the end of the game, and that's like... So we had a strong first half. I was complimenting their fashion game. Shout out to Calamachi and his brother. They did really great with the Guernseys for today's match. The Sir Doug Nicholas round and Calamachi and his brother designed the Guernseys. They looked fucking great. They looked really good and I liked them. And we were certainly winning in the fashion aspect of it because I'm just looking... Yeah, I was not impressed by their Guernseys, Nam, but they did win. So I guess it doesn't fucking matter. I watched the first half and then went shopping. I was in the middle of the fucking Woolworths and I get a notification on my phone from the Google app, which often spoils things for me and then clickbaits me with F1 related news that's never fucking true. So I've learnt to just ignore it, right? I don't ignore it when it comes to the scores, though. They usually don't lie about the scores because it's fucking hard to lie about scores, okay? And I see 88-99. I'm like, okay, we're still winning. And then I read it again. What do you mean Brisbane is down like 11 points? That doesn't make any sense. That's so fucking annoying. So yeah, that was another disappointment. So at this point, I am knock knock, who's there? Owen, 0 for 2. What the hell? Anyway, last sport for today to discuss is, of course, F1, the Imola Grand Prix. Now, I was promised a boring race. I was promised no overtakes. I was promised whoever was on pole was going to win, and that was going to be it. And it was going to be boring and a big fat waste of me staying up until fucking 1 a.m. But let's start from the beginning. So Saturday night qualifying, I watched up until the end of Q1, and then I moved my laptop so that I could lay down, and I just went and I fell asleep for the whole rest of qualifying. And then I woke up at like 3 a.m, 3:44 a.m. I believe it was. I'm laying in my bed like this, and my laptop's like here, and I'm laying, and then I wake up and I go, oh, Oscar on pole, how's that, Max? The fuck is George doing there? Okay, I can go back to sleep. Oscar's on pole. It doesn't matter. Good day to be an Oscar fan. Yep. And then, obviously, I wake up a few hours later and I see bullshit's gone down with Franco Colapinto. Ugh. Bullshit's gone down with Ferrari. Ugh. Bullshit's gone down with Aston Martin. Aston Martin made it to Q1. Guys, weren't we discussing like actual minutes ago the fact that all Lance Stroll does is get out in Q1? What is he doing in like P8? What? So seeing them up there when my beloved Kimi Antonelli is all the way down in P13, I'm just like, what is going on in this here house? We went on to later on the day, Sunday, watch the whole of qualifying again because we had until fucking 11 p.m. before the race even started. So we rewatched qualifying. We also rewatched the Lego car race. Fuck, that was good. I don't think I actually mentioned that in last sports report because I was trying to like wrap it up too quickly. Let's get to the bits of qualifying that I want to chat about. The Ollie and Gabriel Bortoleto debacle. The fight that they were having over who got to go into Q2. I think what they should do, if I was FIA president, is pick one of the top teams, the guys that were like really up there, and Def's made it to Q2, and go eeny, meeny, money, mo, Lando, off you go. I think that's what they should do. I think they should pick from the top teams, get one of them out, make them start all the way down, so then we have to see them fight the way back up again. Let both Gabriel and Ollie go in. I think that would be funny and definitely wouldn't cause major meltdowns. We're also discussing about the aura levels of the teams and which teams have the most aura, because we were discussing obviously Ferrari way back down, not very aura-full if you ask me. We agree that they do have aura, and we also agree that McLaren have no aura. But you know what they say, the quiet ones are the freakiest, so watch out for them auraless cars, I guess. Oh my god. We also said Chicane would be a really good bogan baby name. Like, could you imagine you're like taking your 7-year-old into grade 2 and you can just hear this woman, Chicane! Chicane, get over here! Put your lunchbox in your bag! That would be really funny. We also like Pierre threatening people. That was funny and cool. Pierre embodies me because I also want to know who that smart fellow at Aston Martin is so I can put him on a list or whatever the fuck it was he said. We also had Lando looking for the cereal aisle. Now, if you're wondering what that means, it's a little joke that I have with myself, which I saw when I was like much younger. Some kind of TV show where this guy drives into a grocery shop and just is driving around in the grocery shop, and the worker comes up to him and is like, mate, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just looking for the cereal aisle. So now whenever I see someone reckless driving, they're looking for the cereal aisle. Lando Norris was looking for the cereal aisle. This is really sad. My note says Oscar P1 fork found in kitchen. Well, do I have some news for you? Apparently this fork wasn't found in a kitchen. It was actually found in the laundry. But also Max winning, fork found in kitchen. Continuing on in chronological order, we then have, of course, the driver's parade. First thing I noticed, why the fuck does the truck look like an air fryer? I'll just give myself some time to edit in the truck and an air fryer. Get them out of the air fryer. Now we're going to move on to the actual race. First thing, a bit of some sports report investigating. Why the hell was George on used tyres? Sports report investigation has found common fucking knowledge. They only have a certain amount of tyres. George had used up his tyres. He needed to start on mediums. And fucked him a little bit, actually. Mr. Consistent is now Mr. P7. I want to say I don't think he's finished outside of like P5 all season. So that's got to hurt. I'm so sorry, George Russell. Why am I wearing a white scarf, you may ask? Because I surrender. I surrender to the European races because I don't know what's going to happen. I was told qualifying is everything, and now it's not. So I surrender. I'm not going to try and come up with who I think is going to do the best. Maybe I do know what I'm doing, maybe I don't. But either way, I surrender. I'm throwing in the flag. This whole weekend was fucked. So that's it from me at the Sports Report. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining us at the Sports Report today. If you are a sports fan, consider tuning in. You never know when a sports report is going to drop, but it'll always have something you want to know in it. So, thank you and a good night.